Hey guys, I'm Dov, and today I'm back with more Total War Warhammer 2 Early Access, Prophet and Warlock, yada yada, multiplayer stuff. Here we are today with TEHENUAIN. This time we're going to be taking on the Dwarves. Now, this is one of the toughest matchups for the Lizardmen previously, so let's see how some of the new tools handle in this particular situation. We've got TEHENUAIN up in the air, the Plaque of Sotek, of course, Blade of the Serpent's Tongue, and all that jazz. We've got Flock of Doom, Transformation of Kadan. For the main line, we've got some regular skinks up front, Red Crests in the second line, and a third line of Kroxigors for that sweet anti-infantry armor piercing. We've also got an Ark of Sotek here. I wanted to give this guy a try, and since he has this area of effect damage, poison spell, figured, hey, maybe we could get this in, use it on some dwarf blobs to good effect, so we'll see. Out on the flanks, we've got some hidden clever girls, some feral cold ones, and some more feral cold ones in the jungle over here. For the Black Irons Dwarfs, we've got a front line of Longbeards, pretty solid pick in this matchup. We've got Ironbreakers, Longbeards with great weapons, 2 Dwarf Cannons, 2 Thunderers, Giant Slayers in the back line, 3 Thunderers that is, and UNGRIM Ironfist himself, the big ol' Slayer. Great pick in this matchup. And yeah, you can see the Kroxigors taking some heat right off the bat from those cannons. They so far have dropped only a single model, which is still quite a big damage loss, but that's okay. We're going to continue to just try and push forward here and get some disruption. It would have been nice to have maybe like some chameleon skinks to move in on the back line, do some damage to these Slayers, maybe disrupt these cannons a little bit here, but nonetheless, we're just going to continue pushing forward very patiently. The Red Crests are going to get in here. They'll do okay against Longbeards. Longbeards have high enough defense that they can kind of fight back against the Red Crests relatively well. But over here, we've got Kroxigors layered right on top of Skinks. Of course, Kroxigors will do a whole bunch of damage. These Red Crests, the Regiment of Renown here, I'm going to be pushing them up into the back line. And because I just have more numbers, you can see I can kind of push up and around and start to occupy a lot of these units here. Slayers are going to get into these Clever Girls, which is a little bit unfortunate, but disruption is on full swing in the back line. We've got a Manticore up to do just that, moving in on the cannon. Clever Girls moving in. We've got Kroxigors and Skinks here, disrupting some of these Thunderers. The Giant Slayers are trying to support on the flank, but TEHENUAIN's going to come down as well. Oh, looks like he's going after the cannon over on the far side. These Thunderers are generating some great value right now going after those Kroxigors in the front line. Some of the Skinks have been routed off, but you can see, like, for example, these Cohort of Sotek, they've got their Refuse to Die up, so they still have all 90 unit models. And despite the fact they're down to half HP, you can see now that that's gone. They are going to start to drop some models, but they're able to get back on those Ironbreakers and at least disrupt them, stop them from firing. Second Manticore summon up. Going to continue to use that for disruption. Over on this flank, the combination of red-crested skinks, clever girls, and more are doing a number on those Slayers. And over here, Longbeards with great weapons taking quite a bit of damage as well. The Giant Slayers also getting worn down. Red Crests actually will probably trade pretty cost-effectively because of the poison and so on. We're also going to support with a nice little Flock of Doom here for some additional DPS against these infantry units. But yeah, it's definitely an absolute slugfest here in the pits with Kroxigors and Skinks just duking it out tooth and nail with all kinds of dwarven infantry. The Ironbreakers here are going to hold to the last, of course. But over here, these Longbeards are getting pretty tattered. Longbeards with great weapons matched up against Red Crests here because of kind of the awkward way this engagement happened. The frontal area is not actually that big, and the Red Crests can do quite well here. They're surprisingly cost-effective. But yeah, this Manticore getting absolutely wrecked by UNGRIM. Unfortunate situation for me, but TEHENUAIN staying up in the air, trying to stay away from UNGRIM as much as possible. He's a very, very dangerous character. At this point, the balance of power still pretty much dead even, as the Ark of Sotek, I haven't really used it to good effect so far, but yeah. We're going to go ahead and drop that poison effect here on this kind of blob of thunders that's blobbed up around. It doesn't do much damage. It does a tiny bit of damage. You can see the effect is pretty cool. This kind of a swarm of snakes gets unleashed. It does poison these guys. It does a little bit of damage, but better to use on a lighter infantry blob, I think. I don't know. I have to play around with it a little bit more and see how effective it actually is. But right now, if we take kind of an overarching look here, Another Flock of Doom being unleashed. TEHENUAIN just going after these ranged units, trying to make sure they stay shut down. Same thing with these clever girls. Thankfully, they enraged straight into that cannon crew, which is just great for me. We're also going to get the red-crested skinks back there, make sure they go after the cannon crew as well, just to make sure that they're reliably shut down. These longbeards here facing red crests and regular skinks just getting dragged down into the pits. We'll see, though. I mean, obviously, Dawi infantry can hold out for some time, and the unbreakable red crest, the Regiment of Renown, a few of them still fighting here. Some croc scores managed to get into these iron breakers as well, but being iron breakers, they will hold out for quite some time. This is quite thematic here. This unit of longbeards pretty much completely surrounded, still fighting off those skinks, just routed off some red crests there. And there are some Thunderers in support as well. That being said, the Ark of Sotek is back. We gotta come up with a nickname for this guy. Arky? I don't know. RK? You guys let me know. What should we nickname the Ark of Sotek here, Bastillodon? Because, you know, all the dinosaurs gotta have their nicknames, right? But anyway, he's doing a good job cleaning up some tattered units there. Over here, these iron breakers, we've got some clever girls into the back end, more Croxigors, so yeah, they're definitely suffering pretty badly as well. Red Crest's doing a great job. Again, very cost effective with that poison and that AP. They can get in these kind of rear charge and outnumbering situations, especially when they can outnumber the Dwarven infantry. They'll do some really cost effective damage here. Longbeard's holding out okay, but the Giant Slayers, only a few models left getting dragged down there. We do have plenty of routing skinks as well. Things are still very even in terms of the balance of power, but Ark of Sotek came through. You can see it did unleash more snakes in this pocket here, just to kind of try and apply some extra poison and damage and so on. So far, it's been able to actually get some pretty good work done in melee, being that it has, you know, anti-infantry armor piercing, but we'll see. TEHENUAIN also does great armor-piercing damage, and of course up on the Ripperdactyl does have anti-infantry as well, so he'll be awesome at taking out those tattered dwarves at the end. But UNGRIM over here helping to support these iron breakers who are still holding the line against these Croxigors, and UNGRIM just slayed a Croxigor right there, man. With his anti-large AP, it's going to be bad news for those Croxigors. They actually rout away there, not wanting to fight UNGRIM in melee, and who can blame them? He is a very scary dude. That being said, these Thunderers are online. They're going to last Samurai the Ark of Sotek. You can see things are getting pretty pitched in the late game here. If we take an overarching look, the balance of power is still very even. It's mostly TEHENUAIN versus UNGRIM at this point, with a few tattered units on both sides. But yeah, the Ark of Sotek gets caught up on some Longbeards here, and that does mean that the... Oh, sorry, those are actually the Thunderers. The banner messed me up there. Those guys must have just got launched. But yeah... The Thunderers getting pushed away there. The Longbeards do come in. UNGRIM might be able to come over and finish off the Ark of Sotek, but yeah, it looks like he's making his way over, all angry. He's got his Axe of Dargo out, you know, for the ancestors and all of that jazz. See if he's able to bail out these Longbeards in time. I'm going to try and run the Ark of Sotek towards these Thunderers, get one more good splash attack, and we do manage to drop that Vortex one more time. But predictably, UNGRIM is going to come in, wave his axe around, and that is going to be the end of the Ark of Sotek. Oh, will he finish it off? Maybe. He's thinking about it. Ooh, and TEHENUAIN comes in from the side door with a steel chair, gets a huge attack on UNGRIM as his melee defense is debuffed by Red Ruin. He does have massive weapon strength at the moment, but I'm just trying to keep him staggered, keep him away from TEHENUAIN most critically. I honestly don't mind if the Ark of Sotek goes down, but that Red Ruin is still active, and that's going to allow UNGRIM to finish things off here. So, yeah. Maybe. It's certainly routed, but will it get finished? Ooh, he gets a swipe right there. 37 HP. Yeah, that thing's done for. Absolutely. Down it goes. Sad day. Did some good work at the end of the day, though, for sure. And we do have some rallying units, some clever girls coming back from route over here. We've got some skinks. We do have a relatively healthy unit of skinks and some red crests over here as well, with still 40 unit models, 1700 HP. So we're going to fast forward a little bit through this pitch kind of late game situation as TEHENUAIN comes in for a quick cycle charge, gets a few really good hits on UNGRIM. TEHENUAIN does a ton of weapon damage, and you know, UNGRIM's anti-large, TEHENUAIN's anti-infantry, so it's kind of fire meets fire, right? But If UNGRIM can get some attacks in, he will do a ton of damage, but right now, TEHENUAIN's definitely winning that fight out. UNGRIM taking a ton of damage. Granted, UNGRIM is unbreakable, but you can see the more damage he takes, the more it pushes the Dwarfs towards army losses. And at this point, it's just UNGRIM versus TEHENUAIN. Has the rest of the Dwarfs rout. So yeah, we're going to continue to watch this pitched late game duel here, but very fun battle. Well played to Black Iron. That was super close into the late game. I was really not sure I was going to win that until very, very late in the game, but the Red Crest getting in here, TEHENUAIN and more skinks. Very thematically, TEHENUAIN leading the way. I feel like this was a super thematic army. All skinks and croc scores, and you know, Ark of Sotek, TEHENUAIN up in the air with his plaque out, you know, just hurling insults at the dwarves, I'm sure. But yeah, UNGRIM getting quickly whittled away by those red crests, and one more attack from the Prophet himself finishes the job. And that'll be it for the dwarves. So again, very well played to Black Iron. That was a super close battle, probably one of the most fun battles I've had in this early access period. So hopefully you guys enjoyed watching that one. The Ark of Sotek actually ended up doing okay. 65 kills and a couple XP chevrons at the end of the day. Not bad at all. 63 on the Croc scores, 88 and 81 there. They all did some heavy lifting. And the red-crested skinks as well, 75 kills on this unit in particular. Not bad, considering the cost and the units that they were up against. There really weren't too many cheap dwarf units. In fact, everything was more expensive than the red crests. So, again, 75 kills on them, very good value for the money. The Feral Cold ones were able to get in, do some disruption. TEHENUAIN himself, 70 kills, plus the 2 Manticore summons. Just an absolute beast. He is a true powerhouse, as he well should be. I feel like it's very thematic. For Black Iron, obviously, Longbeard's cleaning up a lot of skinks. 104 kills on those Iron Breakers, 96 on the Giant Slayers. Unfortunately, the missile units didn't quite pay out. The Thunders just didn't quite generate enough value. I was trying my best to try and keep them disrupted as much as possible. And it showed, you know, unfortunately Black Iron was not able to get them secured. He did get some good work done, but not as much as he needed to be able to win that in the late game. Still, very close battle, well played. Hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to check out Black Iron's channel. And yeah, if you do like this sort of content here on this channel, be sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification button so every time I upload a new video, you'll be notified. If you want to support me in a more personal way, help me take my channel to the next level and do this full time, check out the Patreon page in the link in the channel description. Thank you once again, and we'll see you next time.